Yeah, this is David, I copy.
Susie!
You're still calling me Susie, that's okay.
Do you know Planck's constant?
Let me just be clear on this. I haven't heard from you in a week, and now you want a mathematical equation that you should know so you can save the world?
Susie Poo, I promise I will make it up to you as soon as possible.
You can make it up to me now.
Not right now.
I want to hear it.
Shit.
Tear me to jump off this dirty bridge. You're never unafraid, I'm like that. Keep it up, let's raise our hands. Take a look up in the sky and I see red. Cancer, rap for the wealthy, rap for the drink that smacks with suicide. Everything red.
What's up guys? I hope that intro was just the right amount of cringe. This video is gonna be not like one of my previous like more vlog style. This video is intended to just be kind of like a quick progress report of how the flip's going. Some criticism of the last video, not mentioning any names. Cody! People wanted to see kind of what items I was actually selling and how we're progressing towards the goal, which this is one of those items. I mean, how freaking cool. It's a Radio Shack Space Patrol two-way headset ripped straight out of the 1980s that I found in a Goodwill that's actually been sold, and so I need to box this up and get it shipped out. So I guess this makes episode 3 of the flip. If you're brand new to the channel and you have no idea what this series is, let me get you up to speed. About 1 month ago, I started this journey documenting my project starting at $0 and seeing how far we can grow that. First, we started with selling items around my place, which then gave me the money to buy other products to resell. I call this project the flip. The goal isn't to eventually buy a new Tesla. Rather, I started this project to challenge myself creatively, learn new ideas, and maybe make some money along the way. So that's the point of this episode. It's a quick progress report so I can tell you how things are going and what I've been up to. It's probably gonna be a lot of me talking, so bear with me. The first thing I wanted to review were our goals. Last episode, I set up 3 goals. Commit to 25 episodes, make $1,000 in net profits, and grow this channel to 100 subscribers. So let's see how we're doing on those goals. In last episode, we ended with a total net profit of $46.21. Now we're at $365.95. Let's talk about that, because the first episode, we ended the episode at about $241, and then last episode we're at $46, and now we're all the way up to $365. It's a bit of a roller coaster. Just from a bird's eye view, here are some of the numbers and how we got to $365 so far. Since the start of this series, I sold a total of 24 items for about $1,100 in profit. Pretty good, right? The issue is there's been a lot of expenses as well. Each time that I sell an item, there's typically 3 costs associated. The first is the cost of that. First is the cost of the goods. The first cost is the cost of goods sold, or basically what I paid for that item. The second expense is eBay and PayPal fees, which usually round up to about 13%. And finally, the most costly expense is the shipping. But those aren't the only expenses. There's also the expenses of running the shop, which, speaking of the shop, let's do a quick check-in on that. Quick shop update. Things are looking good. We're getting a little overwhelmed by the amount of boxes that I have, trying to recycle the Amazon boxes, but we got a lot of our different USPS shopping boxes, all of our shipping supplies, which are looking more full than ever, and of course, all the product down below. So running out of space, but that's a good thing. New tools for the shop include that new roller tape thing from the beginning. I don't know. But previously I was using this scale to weigh my packages, which if I had a larger package, I actually couldn't see what the weight was. It was very difficult. So I ordered this new Ace-Tech scale from Amazon. But what's great about this scale is it has a separate screen which allows me to see the weight of the boxes. And as you can see, I'm pretty stoked about that. Ooh, I'm off to the side now, so you know we're gonna get into some numbers. So back to those 24 items that I sold that I said there was $1,100 in profit. What I should say is gross profit, because the reality is there was expenses. I spent about $97 in eBay seller fees, as well as an additional $40 in PayPal fees, And then finally, the most expensive part was the $217 that we paid in shipping. Shipping, by the way, is the area that I am by far learning and growing the most in and learning how to cut down on my costs. But those weren't the only expenses, because I needed items such as that tape gun, the scale, packing supplies, and other items to essentially run the shop. And that came out to $144. The good news is, at this point, I have a lot of packaging supplies. I have all the essentials I need to run the shop at a higher volume. And lastly, the most important expense is the products that I purchased. So far, I purchased 39 items at a total cost of $255, $100 of that being the drone that we purchased in last episode. So once you take that $1,100 in gross profit and you factor in all these expenses, and that's how we got to the number of $365 where we're currently at in net profit. So as I mentioned, there were 24 items that I've sold so far. Well, only about 8 of those were items that I personally sourced and flipped for a profit. The remaining items came from around my house, which are continuing to sell, which is great, but the point of this challenge is to find items that I can then sell for a profit. I thought it'd be fun for us to review the 8 items that I did sell. The first item that I saw, which you may have seen in the last episode, were those Fly dirt bike racing pants. I bought those for around $5. I sold them for $37, and I was able to walk away with a net profit about $19 on that item alone. The second item was a Die Hard battery charger that I bought for $5. I sold it for $30, but I kind of messed up on this item because I offered free shipping and I really underestimated how much it would cost to ship this item. After you factor in those expenses, I only walked away with a net profit of about $5.64. I mean, which still, I doubled my money from $5 to $10.64, but again, I could have made a lot more of a profit had I properly charged for shipping. Next up is that TY stuffed animal that I bought for about $1.50 that I sold for $13 plus shipping and walked away with $8 in net profit. I sold this North Face shirt that I bought for about $4 and flipped into a profit of $14.44. This 49ers hat that I bought for $2 last week, sold it in 2 days for $17 plus shipping and walked away with $11.78 in net profit. And finally, that vintage radio headset from the 1980s that you saw at the beginning of this episode. I bought that for around $5 and I underestimated the cost of shipping and I only walked away with about $6 in net profit, but still, again, I doubled my money on this item. Oh, and yes, the drone did sell. I listed it for much higher than I thought I could get for it, hoping that I'd have a little bit more time with it. That item sold in less than 8 hours, and because the person that sold me this item, thank you so much, Michael, is watching this video, or I'm not gonna get into the profits necessarily on that item. And as I'm filming this episode, I just sold this shirt that I picked up last week. I think I'll walk away with about $6 or $7 in net profit on it. Let's go pack this up and wrap up the episode. I mean, as you can see, the process is pretty simple. You know, I take $5, I buy an item, I then sell it, make a $10 profit. I take that $10, buy 2 or 3 more items, and then sell those items for $5 to $10 in profit. So it's kind of that process that just compounds upon itself on and on and on. But then of course, like, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, well, these are great, but you know, getting to $1,000, $5 at a time is gonna take a really long time. And I agree. Or I'm just gonna have to, in general, get more creative to get to that $1,000 net profit goal. But of course, like, I know the saying is cliche and overdone, but I mean, you gotta crawl before you walk, right? Or is it crawl before you run? Or I don't know, it's one of those. Okay, are you over it? Have I lost you? Did I lose you to TikTok where the number's too boring? Are you okay? Tell me what you thought about this video down in the comments. Do you prefer this style? Do you like the vlog style more? If you haven't already, drop this video a like, and I'll see you in the next one.